chosen one, you are standing at an important threshold where long seasons of endurance, waiting and quiet growth are beginning to converge and open an entirely new path. You did not stop before these words merely because of a moment of curiosity, nor did you accidentally pass by them amid the confusion and movement of life. A gentle arrangement brought your attention to this precise moment, because I want you to see that your life is not trapped in the way you once believed. The days that seemed repetitive, the silent doors, and the plans that never fully took shape were not evidence that you had been forgotten. They were part of a foundation being built in secret, where I taught you to become stable enough not to lose yourself when expansion came. Today, I want you to recognize that what is changing is not only the circumstances around you, but also your inward posture. You no longer stand before the future as someone hoping merely to survive. You are being prepared to enter it with clarity, courage, and the ability to preserve what is entrusted to you. I know you have heard so much about waiting that at times the very word itself has made you weary. You wondered why you had to remain patient, while others seemed to advance more easily, why certain opportunities drew near and then moved away, and why what you sincerely requested still had not appeared in the form you desired. But, my beloved child, not everything that arrives slowly has been denied. Some gifts must be protected from the wrong timing, because if they come too early, they may exhaust you instead of supporting you. Certain resources must wait until your hands have learned stewardship. Some doors must remain closed until your heart no longer depends upon praise. Certain connections should appear only when you are mature enough to recognize sincerity, instead of being carried away by outward appearance. I did not withhold goodness to cause you pain. I protected it from haste, and at the same time protected you from carrying a weight greater than your foundation could support. The transition I am speaking of does not appear only as money, possessions, or things that draw the attention of the world. Genuine provision sometimes begins as a clear idea, an awakened skill, a trustworthy person appearing at the right time, or a decision that releases you from a cycle that has depleted you for years. At times, the first thing I give is not a treasure placed outside your door, but understanding that helps you stop leaking what you already possess. I teach you to distinguish between need and impulse, generosity and exploitation, a worthy opportunity, and an invitation that only appears attractive. When you learn how to preserve what is small, you are preparing for what is greater. When you remain faithful to your present responsibilities, even though no one is watching, you demonstrate that expansion will not cause you to forget your beginnings. What I place into your hands is not intended only to make your life more comfortable. It is also meant to help you become a source of peace, support, and hope for those who are led near you. You lived too long in a state of always preparing for the worst. Disappointments taught you to clench your hands, betrayal caused you to question every promise, and seasons of lack convinced you that if you did not control everything, you would lose it all. I understand why you became cautious, but now I am teaching you another kind of stability. You cannot enter abundance while continuing to live as someone who is always under threat. You cannot receive what is new with hands that know only how to cling to what is old because they fear emptiness. Therefore, part of this transition is learning to release reactions born from the past. You can remain wise without becoming suspicious, careful without closing yourself, and responsible without living under continual anxiety. peace does not weaken you. It allows you to see more clearly, choose more accurately, and avoid destroying something good merely because of what happened before. Every tear you once concealed did not pass without meaning. The nights when you lay still, but your mind could not rest. The moments when you had to smile, even though you were nearly empty inside, and the days when you still chose what was right without receiving recognition, formed within you a quality money cannot purchase. You learned how to continue without applause. You learned how to rise when no one came to rescue you. You understood that faithfulness to what is good does not always produce immediate results, but it creates a person who can be trusted. I did not disregard any small step you took in secret. Those very steps formed the road that brought you here. You believed you were merely getting through one day at a time, but I was teaching you to carry responsibility without becoming proud, possess influence without display, and receive more, while still remembering those who have less doors will open. But I do not want you to run through them merely because they are open. Not every opportunity belongs to you, and not every invitation carries peace. What is right will not require you to betray your values, live in uncertainty, or decide hastily because you fear missing out. Observe the nature of every path through the fruit it produces within you. Does it make you more honest, responsible, and generous, or does it require performance, concealment, and the sacrifice of peace? The right people will respect your boundaries. The right opportunities will encourage growth. Healthy resources will help you build rather than make you dependent. I do not want the outward appearance of abundance to blind you. Some things shine brightly while carrying chains, while some very humble beginnings contain the seed of a lasting future. Choose through wisdom, not through fear, that this is your final opportunity. You must also understand that transformation does not exempt you from responsibility. I may place a seed in your hand, but you must plant it. I may show you a path, but you must walk it with discipline. I may send an opportunity, but you must prepare yourself with enough ability to respond. Do not merely desire a changed life while preserving habits that belong to the former season. Complete what you have postponed. Rearrange the way you use time, care for your health, manage resources, and stop giving energy to relationships that only know how to empty you. If you want to carry a lasting legacy, you must learn to build consistently rather than through inspiration alone. The small choices of today will determine how long the greater things of tomorrow can remain in your hands. I do not merely want to give you one brilliant moment. I want to lead you into a life with a foundation, where goodness does not appear and disappear, but is preserved and continues multiplying through many seasons. You are not created to continue chasing shadows that leave you empty. You spent too much time trying to prove your value to places that did not possess the capacity to recognize you. You pursued approval, believing that if you did more, gave more, and remained silent longer, you would finally be seen. But that season must end. What is opening requires you to walk as someone who knows who they are, no longer giving others the authority to determine your worth through their responses. You do not need to lower your head to pass through a door. I prepared for you. Neither do you need to compete with anyone, because what belongs to you does not have to be obtained through envy. Do your part with integrity, and allow the result to arrive in order and proper timing. Genuine elevation does not cause you to despise others. It gives you greater ability to serve, share, and create better paths for those who come after you. when provision begins expanding. Do not forget why you were entrusted with more. Remember the days when you had to consider every small expense. The moments when you wished someone would help, but did not know where to turn. And the occasions when one simple act of kindness gave you enough strength to continue. These memories are not preserved to cause pain. They teach you how to use what is new with compassion. You will meet people standing where you once stood. Then you may become the supporting hand you once desired. But help with wisdom, not by emptying yourself. A healthy legacy is not measured only by what you leave behind, but also by the values you pass forward. Honesty, gratitude, discipline, generosity, and the ability to build without hurting others. My child, enter this time with calm expectation, not excitement that causes you to believe everything too quickly. What is changing will be demonstrated through fruit, stability, and increasingly deep peace. I do not want you merely to become emotional for a few minutes and then return to your former way of living. Allow these words to awaken you in every daily decision. Stop the cycles that make you small. Release beliefs that continually predict failure. And stop calling mediocrity safety. You have been prepared to live beyond fear, deeper than doubt, and higher than the limitations the past placed upon you. What is approaching will not merely change what you possess. It will reveal who you became throughout the waiting. Stand upright, remain humble, and continue faithfully, because the future opening before you will not be built through panic, but through trained hands, a pure heart, and a life that knows how to use everything entrusted to it to create lasting goodness. Deep within you, there has always been a prompting that refuses to disappear, quietly reminding you that life still contains a broader land beyond where you stand, and a purpose greater than the limits you have seen. My beloved child, that awareness is not baseless dissatisfaction, nor is it a fantasy created so that you can escape reality. It is evidence that the deepest part of you still knows that you have not reached the full measure of what was placed within you. Although circumstances repeatedly told you to settle for what was narrow, and disappointment caused you to believe your dreams were too great, that flame continued burning. It was not loud, but it endured. It existed before you knew how to name your desire. When you looked ahead without understanding why your heart could never fully belong to shallow things. I want you to stop questioning that calling, because it was not placed within you to make you restless. It was placed there to prevent you from settling in a place beneath what you were prepared to enter. The place awaiting you is not necessarily a location upon a map, a new city, or another home. Sometimes you may remain within the same physical space, while the entire way you think, choose, and live is transferred into a new order. It is a place where you no longer have to diminish yourself in order to be accepted, where you stop continually asking others for permission. Before living according to what is true within you, it is a state in which you clearly understand who you are, what must be protected, and which roads no longer belong to you. When this alignment is complete, peace will no longer be a rare moment you discover after exhausting days. It will become the foundation of every decision. Purpose will no longer be a distant idea you consider only during moments of inspiration. It will be present in how you use time, how you treat yourself, and how you choose those who are permitted to come near. The dreams once planted within you did not disappear, merely because they remained silent for a long time. Some seeds must lie deep beneath the soil during a long season, so their roots can become strong before green shoots appear. You repeatedly looked at a surface without movement and assumed that everything you once hoped for had died. But I used the hidden time to make your roots go deeper. If the result had arrived too early, you might have received it with immaturity, managed it through fear, and depleted it while searching for recognition. Therefore, delay is not always refusal. At times, it is a covering that protects the gift from being placed into your hands before those hands are stable enough to preserve it. What is about to bloom requires more than desire. It requires discipline, humility, and a heart no longer easily carried away by praise or the doubt of others. The road that brought you here was never a meaningless sequence of events. Every turn, setback, and pause left something necessary within you. Certain detours taught you to see what you once moved too quickly to notice. Some closed doors helped you understand that possessing the ability to enter does not mean a place belongs to you. Certain people departed so that you could learn that affection cannot replace compatibility and promises cannot replace action. Those events hurt because at the time you saw only loss and could not yet see what was being constructed. You believed life was destroying your plan, but a deeper plan was removing everything that lacked the strength to accompany you into the future. The storms that once made you tremble also accomplished a work that easy days could never perform. They forced you to recognize that you cannot control every result, preserve every person, or support every burden alone. At first, this made you feel weak, but gradually it taught you the difference between genuine strength and the habit of forcing yourself to endure. Strength does not mean never becoming tired. It means knowing when to stop before you break. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is still making the right choice while fear is present. Stability is not the absence of tears. It is refusing to allow bitterness to decide who you will become after you have cried. Every storm removed another layer of panic, a false belief, and a dependence you once thought you could not live without. There were seasons of silence when you believed I had moved far away. You prayed without seeing a sign, waited without hearing an answer, and continued without knowing where the road was truly leading. During those months, you often believed that you were being punished for some mistake. But, my beloved child, silence is not always absence. At times I remained silent so that you would no longer walk, only because you were constantly reassured. I taught you how to recognize peace. Even when no clear sign appeared, remain faithful before the reward came, and continue doing what was right when no one was watching. These lessons could be born only in secret places where you could not depend upon praise, recognition, or immediate results to keep moving. During those long nights, your ability to endure was refined into perseverance. You no longer abandon everything, simply because one day becomes difficult. You learned not to make major decisions while your heart was panicking. You began to understand that one difficult season is not your entire life. One failure is not your name, and one rejection cannot define the worth of what you carry. These lessons did not come through beautiful words. They were written within you through experience. Therefore, the wisdom you possess today carries weight. It is not merely something you heard from others, but something you paid a price to understand. When you tell someone in despair that they can still rise, your words carry strength because you once had to rise while no one knew you had fallen. Do not be ashamed of the mornings when hope within you was fragile. I never measured your faithfulness by the amount of enthusiasm you felt. There were days when you walked with confidence, and days when you had only enough strength for one small step. But one small step through darkness still possesses value. You do not always need to feel strong in order to be moving forward. Some victories are simply the fact that you did not return to the place that broke you. Some successful days consist only of restraining your mouth from speaking harmful words, refusing an invitation that would pull you into an old pattern, or allowing yourself to rest without condemnation. These quiet choices are preparing you for the breadth the inward flame has always reminded you about. Now look upon the valleys you passed through, not only with sorrow, but with the understanding that they enlarged your capacity. Blessing may bring joy, but only testing teaches you to manage joy without fear. Favor may open the road, but waiting taught you not to waste opportunity when it appears. Days of support may produce gratitude, but lonely seasons taught you the value of someone who genuinely remains. You do not need to love what caused you pain, but you can stop treating those experiences as proof that life was against you. They became instruments that deepened your roots, expanded compassion, and taught you not to place your future into the hands of things that are beautiful only for a moment. Therefore, continue listening to the pure prompting that tells you more remains ahead. Do not turn it into haste, and do not use it to despise where you stand. Allow it to motivate you to prepare, rearrange your life, and remain aligned. The place intended for you needs more than your arrival. It needs you to arrive mature enough to remain. What is approaching will bring together peace, purpose, and provision. But first, you must stop carrying the habits that caused you to destroy goodness in the past. You are not lost. You are being led along a road of depth, where every season contributes to forming someone stable enough to receive what was planted long ago. The flame continues burning because your story is not complete. And at this moment, you are drawing closer to the place where dreams, preparation, and purpose will finally meet within a peace you no longer have to struggle to prove. My beloved child, you were not selected as a destination for every difficulty. You have been marked by grace to move beyond the limitations that once held you behind. I know there were seasons when you looked at everything happening, one after another, and wondered whether you were being punished, whether closed doors, misunderstandings, and times of being overlooked proved that you had chosen the wrong road. But today, I want to correct the way you see this journey. Trials are not permitted to give you a new name. Delay is not your final address. The years when you were hidden are not a declaration that you possess no worth. I use the places no one saw to make your foundation firm, so that when you are brought into the light, applause will not shake you, and you will not require the approval of the crowd to know who you are. Your quiet obedience was never forgotten. I saw the moments when you chose what was right, even though the wrong choice promised a faster benefit, when you kept your word, even though no one could verify it, and when you continued working, while the result appeared absent. Some people saw only slowness, and assumed that you lacked ability. Some mocked your discipline because they did not understand why you continued doing what had not yet produced a reward. Some passed over you as though you carried nothing worthy of notice, but they did not see the depth I was building. They did not know that every refusal to compromise placed another stone into your foundation. Every continuation after disappointment opened an inward door, and every small decision made with integrity prepared you for a transformation that talent alone could never create. What once existed only as a hidden yes within you is about to become visible through specific results. I am not saying that you must live to prove yourself to those who once doubted you. You do not need to turn success into a weapon of revenge or stand before them and recount everything you endured. Genuine proof does not require an accompanying argument. When a tree matures, its fruit speaks for itself. When a structure is completed, no one needs to debate whether a foundation existed. Continue walking humbly. Those who once failed to understand will eventually see what consistency created. Those who believed you were wasting time will recognize that the very season they considered useless made you strong enough to carry something greater. This Monday, allow your heart to enter a new rhythm. Not the rhythm of impatience, trying to force everything to happen, but the peace of someone who knows that the former time is completing its purpose. Do not awaken with the attitude that you must chase confirmation. Do not begin the day looking outward to see whose attitude toward you has changed. Rise in quietness and remember that I do not require noise to open a door. Certain turning points arrive gently through a timely conversation, information you unexpectedly receive, an opportunity that appears small but contains a new direction, or clarity that allows you to know you no longer need to return to the former place. Change does not always appear as thunder. Sometimes it begins when you no longer fear what once caused you to tremble, no longer beg another person to acknowledge you, and no longer wait for permission to enter the responsibility I prepared. The seeds you watered with tears did not disappear, merely because they remained beneath the soil for a long time. I saw you plant during days when nothing was guaranteed, continue giving kindness while you lacked support, and keep nurturing a dream when every circumstance told you to forget it. There were seasons when you believed you were only crying, but those tears softened, hardened ground. There were moments when you thought you were traveling in circles, but every step helped you learn what you needed before harvest. When results begin to appear, do not forget what waiting taught you. Remember how you lived with little, valued a small opportunity, and remained grateful for simple assistance. These lessons will keep you from becoming a stranger to yourself when expansion comes. The blessing I place within your hands does not end with personal comfort. Your cup is filled so that you may pour out in the proper place, at the proper time, and with wisdom. You do not need to share everything with everyone, nor are you required to carry every need you see. Yet what I give will create a circle of influence extending beyond your private life. Your loved ones may experience relief. Someone losing hope may receive support through you, or an idea you develop may create work and opportunity for many people. Some will benefit from your perseverance, even though they never saw the nights when you wanted to give up. Therefore, do not treat your endurance as something small. Your refusal to quit has not only kept your own door open, it may be preserving a road for those who will come after you. Yet when the proof appears, protect your heart from the need to display it. I do not lift you so that you can shame those who once disregarded you. I lift you so that you can become evidence that faithfulness is not useless, and that a person does not need to abandon integrity in order to advance. Let achievement make you kinder rather than harder. Remember how it felt to be overlooked so that you will not overlook others. Remember the days when you needed an encouraging word and no one spoke, so that when you possess a voice, you will know how to use it to lift someone who is tired. If your influence increases, while compassion decreases, you have misunderstood the purpose of increase. What I give is not intended only to change your circumstances. It must reveal more clearly the beauty within you. This Monday may become a milestone, not because everything will be completed in one day, but because it may be the day when you decide to stop living as someone who must beg for permission to enter your own life. You no longer bow before voices that cause you to doubt your ability, nor must you continue chasing those who repeatedly refuse to recognize you. You are learning how to receive without feeling indebted to someone's pity, enter an opportunity without diminishing yourself, to keep others comfortable, and say yes to goodness without fearing it will immediately be taken away. This is the quiet confidence I want to place within you, neither loud nor arrogant, but stable enough that you no longer return to the version of yourself that continually apologized for existing. Do not apologize for the oil I placed upon your life. Do not dim your abilities so that others will not feel challenged. But neither should you use those abilities to place yourself above them. Walk with the balance of someone who understands that every gift is accompanied by responsibility. If you become more visible, live with greater transparency. If you are entrusted with more resources, manage them more carefully. If your voice reaches farther, choose purer words. Elevation does not exempt you from discipline. It requires deeper faithfulness to what helped you remain steadfast when no one knew your name. Therefore, my beloved child, enter this day not as someone waiting for an outward miracle to rescue you, but as someone prepared to receive and manage what is new. Do the work before you, complete what remains unfinished, and preserve peace even when every sign has not appeared at once. I do not need you to manufacture false evidence in order to feel affirmed. What is genuine will arrive in a way that requires no force. Later, you will look back and recognize that the turning point did not begin when the entire world saw you, but on the day when you stopped doubting the work that had been constructed in silence. From that certainty, you will walk differently, speak differently, and receive differently. This will not happen because you have become greater than everyone else, but because you finally agreed to stand in the place I prepared, allowing what was planted in tears to become a harvest that brings light, support, and hope not only to you, but also to everyone connected to your journey.